To kick our first podcast off, Chase, do you want to kind of introduce yourself, let everybody know how you kind of became into the whole outdoor enthusiast role, or really just your outdoor experiences, how you kind of got started?
Yeah, so growing up, my parents are from East Texas, and being out there in the summers, I'd always spend the whole summer with my grandparents. Really wasn't much else to do other than go outside, do country stuff. Dig holes, go hunting. Like I was just always around it, and I always really enjoyed it. Fast forward, like whenever I was coming, I think I just checked the other day. Actually, I had to get my my hunter's ed card for a lease we're signing up for this year, and I took my hunter's ed in 2012, so I would have been 12 years old. I remember I went to my dad and I was like, "Hey, I've been wanting to do this, like I want to take this, I want to get into hunting." And he's just like, "Yeah, whatever," kind of not really blew me off. He was supportive of it, but was like, "Hey, if you want to do it," kind of deal. So 3 weeks later, I think it was, I came up to him and I was like, "Hey, we got to be at Gander Mountain before they shut down." I was like, "Yo, we got to go to Gander Mountain in like 2 weeks." He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Oh, I got my test. It's an in-person test." And he was like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah." So it was just really cool because, he had hunted when he was a kid and then kind of fell out of it after my parents got married and moved up here into North Texas, kind of away from all the outdoorsy scene, I guess you could say. Kind of just left their mind for a little bit. So when I got back into it, a lot of my favorite memories are just hunting with my dad. The blind talks that you have with friends and things like that are a lot of fun, but whenever you get to share that with your dad, it just makes it that much better, And then really from there, it just sparked. I started out as a whitetail hunter, and then any kind of like varmint hunting, predator hunting, all that type of stuff. Really anything with a rifle. Never really dove hunted or waterfowl hunted, nothing like that. If it was flying in the air, I wasn't shooting at it. Got into high school, met a bunch of different friends and things like that, and they were all big into it. And I was like, "Man, whatever, like that's cool, I guess." Like, I don't know, that sounds boring to me, sounds like a lot of work. But I'll give it a shot. So I went to Academy or Dick's or something like that, and bought an 870. It was like $300. I was like, "All right, cool, I'm a professional now," Just got into it, man. It's like once you start, if you haven't hunted any kind of flying species, man, once you start, there's no going back. It's just a different kind of hunting experience. It's a different, just all around, like it's so unreal. And from there, it's blasted off. I'm way more broke now. I think y'all probably are too. Way more broke now than I was back then, man. I could be addicted to a lot worse things, but I could probably pick something cheaper, But it's like now, I get to experience it with my friends. They'll kind of get into their own stories, but I've helped Robert with some firsts and things like that. And it's just really cool, I know I can say this for all three of us, like we really take to heart like getting what we do out there. Like there's so many people around you that have no clue about any of this. And so just like inviting new people, we love to meet people and they're like, "Oh, we've never been hunting." Like, "Man, come with us. We've got guns. We got everything you need." And it's just like, it's a passion for us. We're not here just to kill birds. We're not here just to look cool for y'all or to make cool TikToks, which we do make some cool TikToks. You can check it out. We'll drop that link in the description. But needless to say, the relationships, the memories, the friendships, all those kind of things are what make it worth it. These two guys next to me, I'm sure, can attest to that as well. But for me, that's kind of it. I did pick up my first lab. He'll be 2 this year. 2 actually in a couple of weeks. I don't know when this video is going out, but into August he'll be 2. So about a year and a half ago, I picked up a black lab. And if you don't hunt with a dog, or if you've ever had hesitations about getting a hunting dog, just jump off and do it. It's the best thing. It brings a whole different aspect to the hunting than just being with people. Gives you a whole different respect for the game. That's really, I don't really have much else than that, honestly. It's kind of a boring story. Still relatively, I'm new into it. 2015 was really my first year waterfowl hunting. So, I'd say 7 years, but really the past 3 or 4 years have been more like really, really tuning into it. and pushing a little bit harder. So Devin, since he's sitting right next to me, he's got the beautiful Sitka waterfowl hat on his head. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little about yourself next?
So, kind of similar. You know, I grew up in Northeast Texas. There's not a whole lot. I mean, granted, you know, Savoy, Texas, big shout out. You know, all we really did, you know, it's a small country town. Everybody knows everybody. You know, if we're hunting waterfowl, you know, it's great. I didn't even start actually hunting waterfowl till 2019. Well, some stipulations into that disclosed. But like really, like where I grew up, you know, just kind of like Chase, small country. We did anything and everything just to stay outside. You know, that's how we lived. I would say what really kicked me off for like the whole hunting, I always fished. Like that's something that me and my dad cherished a lot. My grandpa, you know, him and I would go out fishing every once in a while. But, you know, hunting, I got introduced kind of late. Never really was a big deer hunter. I didn't have the patience for it. The anxiety, not really so much the anxiety, but like the anxiousness, you know, sitting in the blind, got to be quiet, you know, can't move around, you know, I can't do that. I start fidgeting, you know, it's like, my buddy said, what do you want me to do? And I said, I can't just sit here. And he said, you know, I might as well just give you like two antlers and you sit there and rake them around. And that's really all I did. Didn't see shit, in case you're wondering. I cannot intimidate that or whatever you want to call it. I'm sitting there just, but one of my buddies called me up one day and he's like, hey, you know, I got this Remington 870, full synthetic black stock, you know, and he said, let's go duck hunting. And I went out there, bought me a pair of cheap waders. Great guy, Pate Wilkerson. If you ever find yourself watching this, I greatly appreciate what you did. Same with Dylan Crumby. Big shout out to y'all too for starting a very expensive addiction.
Yep.
God, you know, everything that I do nowadays, not so much as, I guess, the glory of just bird limits. I just like being outside.
Right.
Yeah. You know, growing up like that, you kind of, once you get older, I feel like you start to neglect it. You know, you get used to going to your 9 to 5, blah, 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 and you start to lose touch of that inner kid, you know, going out and wanting to pursue a game or wanting to just be outside and just have fun.
Yeah.
That's my biggest joy. I love watching the birds work. You know, that's our saying, let them work. But something about sitting in freezing cold water after I'm trying to push a boat,
after falling in the water too every once in a while.
Yeah, notorious. Once a year, I take a plunge. I'll fight through the cold. You know, it's a part of the game. I love it. I wouldn't change it for anything. I mean, you just can't beat it. I mean, it's like shaking a stick. I don't know what that has to do with that, honestly. It sounded good, but yeah, you know, waterfowl became my passion. Moving down here to the DFW area, I've shared great memories. I actually met a really nice guy. He kind of took me to some of his hunting spots and vice versa. Became really good friends with him, and we both share a passion with waterfowl, just as us three sitting here right now. Robert, I guess you got the hot mic. Let's see it.
Our amazing videographer, by the way.
Yes.
I don't know if he's gonna hype himself up or not,
No.
but yeah, he's the real deal. Everything that gets put on is that man right there. He does
We're
a lot
the-
of work behind the scenes.
Chase and I, you know, we're the brains of the operation. He just makes it.
That's
Yeah,
what
pretty much.
we
He makes it
say.
look
That's what we
beautiful.
say
Pretty
at
much.
least.
Yeah.
He's the man. Go ahead, Robert.
Well, I mean, just like Chase, I mean, my dad has taught me pretty much everything. He's taught me how to camp. He's taught me how to fish. Not a lot about the hunting stuff, but I was born in New Jersey, so completely opposite of these boys. I was up north, and we eventually moved down south to Florida, and then we came to Texas. And ever since I came to Texas, I've wanted to hunt. I've always wanted to hunt. I've always liked guns. I always wanted to just be outside doing what guys do, right? But I never really got into it till I would say like last year.
Yeah.
Before that,
I took you on some of your first hunts last year.
Yeah, I mean that's really about when we all started kind of just clicking was last year.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, dove season came around, and Chase called me up. He was like, "Hey, you want to go dove hunting?" And I was like, "Yeah. What do I need to do?" He was like, "You got a shotgun?" I was like, "I have an 870." And he was like, "Okay, that'll work." He was like, "Do you have your hunting license?" I said no. And so that day, I literally went online at work, and I was doing the test, doing that really quickly. And then that afternoon, we went dove hunting, and he put me on my first doves. And that just, I don't know, that just released something inside of me I just wanted to keep going, keep hunting, keep going outside. And then eventually duck season came around, and Chase again invited me out for ducks. And that's when I met Devin. And we went out for my first duck hunt. We saw some birds. Unfortunately, we didn't kill any. But then
I just wish I would have been there for your first bird.
oh yeah,
Yep.
dude,
The look on someone's face, like the excitement that they get, like, man,
Yeah,
you can't.
I have to
beat
play that video.
We'll definitely have to touch. We'll touch
dive
on
into that.
our first birds here in a minute for sure.
And I mean, I guess I could start that off right now because
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll jump into it.
go for it.
This is a great spot.
Chase put me on. Chase put me on my first bird for doves and ducks. And when we got out, we went out like maybe 3 times before I got my first ducks. And those 3 times were like a blast, even though we didn't kill anything. But on that 4th time we went out there, it felt good. We felt like we were in the right spot. And hell, we were just sitting down, just talking, and all of a sudden I look up and I'm like, "Dude, are those our decoys? Did they float off that far?" He was like, "No, dude, those are ducks. Get your gun." And so I'm over here trying to push my GoPro because I want to get it on camera, of course, and it wouldn't turn on. I was like, "All right, well, screw it. Let me just get my gun." So I started going. He's like, "You ready?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right, get up, shoot him." And I was like, "Right now?" He's like, "Yeah, go." And I got up, shot him, and I got 2 of them. And then his black lab Goose, like, that's like one of the greatest things to see is a dog running out and going retrieving some birds for you.
Was it yours a pair?
Yeah, it was
It was a pair.
It was
yeah, Gadwall pair.
Man,
yeah.
I gotta tell you, everyone thinks these bad boys here are the way to go. Killing mallards is the only thing to do. A stud pair up here in North Texas, we see some hellaciously sized gadwall. I mean, just some studs. And Robert got Robert got a nice pair. He had a nice Drake hen pair of some gaddies, and it was a good first hunt.
Oh, not even to mention that beautiful pintail.
There'll be a picture popping up.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I'll dive into that story.
That right there.
Damn, that was a wild day.
Yep. Do you remember your first waterfowl? I'm not gonna say, ducks, because teal also are kind of included in that, or geese. Do you remember your first?
So I remember my first bird. I really don't want to talk about this. So everybody, everybody in North Texas, you see a spoonie, Northern Shovelers for any you Yankees. We'll throw that out there. I don't know what y'all want to call them, but my first bird, a stud. I mean, knockdown stud spoonie, and I was so excited. I'm with Pate and I'm with Dylan. We're hunting this small pond, and when he landed in the decoys, I'm sitting there looking at him. They're like, "Are you gonna shoot him or what?" And I'm like, "You want me to shoot him on the water?" And my buddy Crumbly's like, "Shoot that motherfucker!" And so I smack him on the water. Everybody's like, "Oh, water swats." That's not ethical. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no shame in it.
If you get them touching the water, you're doing something right.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, the boys in Arkansas, they'll testify to that.
When they're not shooting them at treetops,
Yeah. I will say my most memorable bird, though, this was November 2021. The day before the split, so Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Thanksgiving morning, I'm out there on Ray Roberts hunting this small creek, and I got these people to my left, they're fishing. I don't know why they're fishing with a 20 mile an hour north wind and it's 30-something degrees. But Jesus Christ, I'm sitting there and I'm about to pick up my decoys and head back to the truck. And next thing you know, I look at the corner of my eye and there's a pair of wood ducks. They land in the spread. And perfect. Wood ducks do not decoy for us. Like, that is the most uncommon thing to ever see. And I shot that drake and I missed that hen with my other 2 shots. And, I was beating myself up a little bit because I wanted the pair. Like, everybody wants a pair of wood ducks. But that drake, so beautiful, man. I like my mallards. I really do. But it's like, I guess everybody goes for that mallard. But when you get something different, it's something special.
Man, it's a bird's a bird, I would say. Like if you're out there, there's so many people that are, I'm sure there's gonna be people in the comments like, oh, you say like you don't have to go for the mallards because y'all just don't kill them. It's like, man, get out of here with that.
No,
like
I can show you mallard.
Yeah,
pounds,
like if you're getting out there, we're all out here hunting. We're all just trying to have a good time, man. Like it's not that serious. It's
and
not.
That's what I don't like about the hunting community nowadays. It's just a competition,
Yeah, it definitely is. Man, I would say so. My first going back to high school, I remember my freshman year. One of my buddies was like, "Hey, you want to go?" I was kind of talking to him. We had some classes together. He's like, "You want to go to early teal season with us?" Back out. It was actually at Ray Roberts too. I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." I don't have anything. I don't have anything there to do or nothing like that. So, he was like, "Oh, don't even worry about it." We've got waiters and we've got this, that, and the other. And man, I have to say, I walked into his house and whatever we were talking. And I was like, all right, what do you need help with anything? He's like, yeah, come in here, we'll pick everything up. Man, I opened the door and it's a big bedroom, probably, like a 30 by 30 room. It was like a media room that they just didn't use. And I kid you not, there are turkey decoys, duck decoys, like mounts all over the wall. They've got like spare guns sitting in the corner. Just crazy stuff, dude. The room is packed full, blinds, everything. Everything you could imagine. Duck hunters, like, oh, I dream about it at night. And all right, cool. That's way besides the point. But so we get everything ready. We go out the next morning. Early teal season, and I had heard like, oh, teal fly fast. Like teal are some fast moving birds. I was like, oh, it's duck hunting. Like, how hard can it be? Like Louisiana boys do it. Anyone can do it. But just kidding. No, not knocking. Not knocking on the Louisiana boys down there. But I had to throw that out there. I'm just kidding. But
we know.
Anyways, man, we go out there and.
No offense to the Duck Dynasty guys, y'all do a great job.
Killing it. We get out there and real shallow water. It's like the water's real, like in Texas, as hot as it gets. Like you'll go scout 1 month. Next month you go out there and half the water you saw is gone. Like it disappears. It seems almost
That's how it is right now.
Yeah, exactly. So.
It was 105 today.
Yeah,
lakes are just
dry
with water. It's insane.
Yeah, so we get up there and it's this real tight channel. The main lake's kind of out, but we're surrounded by cattails and grasses and things like that. Really cool area. And we're sitting there and like we're just talking or whatever. We're sitting kind of like in a triangle kind of deal, and all of a sudden I just hear like the, and I was like, what the hell was that? And they were like, shut up, get down. I'm like, all right, whatever. And these birds do it again, man. It's like a group of like 6 or 7 of them. And I look over, I'm like, are they going to land in the decoys? Like, is that how this works? And they're like, nah, probably not. We probably just have to shoot them out of the air. And I'm like, huh? What? Like, what do you mean? Like,
that's how you do it?
Yeah, like you saw how fast those birds were flying. Mind you, it's my first time out. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And bless their heart, man, these birds came back. We all shot. One of them fell. I don't think I'm the one that hit it, but they told me I did anyway. So, whether that's actually my first bird, I'm going to take credit for it.
Yeah.
I'm not completely sold. It was me.
What was it? Was it a blue or green?
Yeah, a green wing teal. Yeah.
See, that's something I really want to get into. You know, like everybody in Texas, they're posting blue wings.
Yeah.
I can't find them.
Nope.
Like Eagle Mountain Lake. I scouted that like a motherfucker and last year, and I go out there the next day, nothing.
Yeah.
Disappeared.
Blue wings are like, they're evasive, I guess. At least to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Teal's definitely a different thing. I'll say my most memorable hunt after that I went up to a different friend. This was when I was out of high school. We kind of talked in high school, but not really. He asked me if I wanted to go up to Kansas with him. I was like, man, sure, whatever. I don't care, Made a quick run up there. He brought his boat and everything. We went up to Cheyenne Bottoms. Supposed to be a really cool. We stayed in a little crack motel. It was kind of sketchy. I mean, like burnt spoon on the window ledge, and it was real. Spots on the bed. I don't know. It was weird. Didn't like that part, but go out and scout. Really cool. I mean, saw a bunch of birds. Didn't see anything the next morning. So he actually hunts a bunch in Arkansas, so his patience is a lot lower than mine. He's like, man, screw this. We're leaving. I was like, all right, cool. On the way back, we stopped in Wichita, Kansas, with one of his family friends, I guess, and that was, we hunted this small hole. They called it the Woody Hole, just surrounded by trees, and there was kind of like this little point that came out, and we sat right there. Man, I tell you, like, Robert, you haven't really experienced it yet, but like that first light when all those birds are just like dropping in.
Man.
I mean, oh my word!
Yeah.
And we could hear it. Like we sat down and private land stuff. I mean, it was like a 20-yard walk to get to the water, so we weren't out there super early. There's no competition. Like, we casually got out there to hunt, threw a couple decoys. Like, we knew the birds were there. It wasn't an issue. So, man, hearing all the birds and everything, and it was just nonstop. I mean, I think we shot a 5-man, and we were there maybe 45 minutes or an hour, maybe. And it was just crazy, dude. I mean, like, Robert, you'll experience it one of these days. But just seeing those birds, I mean, drop in, backpedaling over the decoys is something else. That by far is my favorite, most memorable hunt.
Man, I'm already geeked up just seeing all these videos on YouTube about birds flying, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to actually be in the moment.
Like those videos, they just don't do it justice.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Like my adrenaline, my heart starts racing like that
100%.
early morning, and all you hear is
Yeah.
that whistle of the wings.
Yep.
Like your first instinct's like, oh, safety's off.
Right, yeah.
And then you're like, wait, shooting light. Let me.
That's when those conversations of like, I mean, it's like 3 minutes till shooting light, right? Like, I mean, I can see them, so
do I let the intrusive thoughts
could we
win?
sell
Right,
this?
right.
Like, is Mr. Green Jeans gonna believe us or not? I mean, it's just,
I don't know. Texas green jeans.
Man,
They're a different breed.
They're about it.
They're on it. Yeah, they are on it. That's for sure.
Robert, I would assume that your most memorable hunt would be the Gadwall pair.
Yeah.
Not to just like assume it, but
Yeah, I would say that because I mean that was
it's something that you just won't forget.
yeah, I won't forget. I mean, I look at the video all the time, and it's just a memory that I'll always have, and hopefully I can have that with my dad one day, and hopefully I can have that with my kids one day. Because I mean, that's just like, I mean, I don't know, one of y'all said it, but it's like when you get out and hunt, it's just a different feeling.
Yeah.
It's a feeling that you don't get. Like normal people, they don't know. They don't know what it feels like till you actually get out there and kill your first whatever you're going after. Like
It's just something about chasing that animal. Like the build up, the suspense, and then that time in the moment where it's you and that animal, and it's like you either hit or you miss. Now I will say this now. I have a goal for the near future. I don't know if I should say it because I was going to try to keep it a secret. Baylor and I have been working on kind of a big surprise for y'all too.
Oh. We don't know this, by the way.
So
another thing I don't know about.
let me check my phone real quick for the exact dates. It will be January. I will tell you that.
14th. That's my birthday, low key. Plug. Say happy birthday to me.
It's not gonna be that day.
Rip.
But it will be the 5th through the 9th.
All right.
We will be hunting flooded timbers. We're gonna get flooded rice fields, and
I'm getting spoiled.
we're working on a pit blind for
Oh,
a mixed bag of cacklers, specks, snows. Blues will fly in there. There's no difference between a blue and a snow goose. I don't care what anybody says. They're the exact same.
Yeah.
They look the exact same, except the feathers, but
Yep.
they're the same bird.
Well,
one just got gangsterfied a little bit.
I need to put those days in my calendar
that's
for
what I'm
taking
saying.
off.
Yep.
So yeah, that
That's
dream,
gonna be tight.
that dream that you want the
Right.
mallards just trickling down.
That's right there. It's there.
That is
Yeah.
That's my goal. I want you to
Yeah.
experience that. That's actually something that it wasn't really my first hunt, but it was. I would say it was probably like my third or fourth, and it's breathtaking.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is. It's
when there's a bunch just piling in from the trees. You start to you can start to feel it a little bit, you know. Like
no, you
feel
can.
the pressure in the
You
air.
can.
It's wild.
It shifts. It definitely does. Coming into the next thing here, I know we've kind of touched on it. Not really, but we've hinted at it here and there. Hunting with dogs. Of course, like I said, I have a 2-year-old black lab. His name is Goose. And I have a 7-month-old German short-hair pointer. His name is Maverick. Devin has a black lab named Bo, who I'm going to be working with. And then Robert on the far end has a yellow lab named Honey. You know, none of us are professional trainers by any means, but we're all trying our dang best. For me personally, I have a huge passion for it. I would love to be able to include that more in my life. As far as looking down the road, you know, if I could get to the point to where I could make a living training dogs, I mean, that'd be really, really cool for me. If not, you know, I like working with the ones I have and being able to help out my buddies and things like that as well. But I'm going to kind of touch on it and then pass it down the line here. I know y'all have stuck around for about an hour now, so sorry it's gone so long. But as we said earlier, we don't know what we're doing. So we're going to touch on just like how hunting with a dog is different. What kind of comes along with that. And to start, you know, I would just say it's insane. It is the coolest thing ever. I know earlier I said that my favorite hunt was, my most memorable hunt was the first teal that I shot, or that was maybe not the most memorable. Most memorable was Kansas. I'm going to kind of renege on that. I took one of my other friends out, and it was one of his first times hunting as well. And same deal. He actually shot another gadwall, was his first bird. And that day, I forgot my shotgun at home because I am an idiot, but I wasn't too mad because I had my dog. We get out, set up, hunting a completely different spot. It's just the wind switched up. It was just one of those last minute things. You know, I was like, you know what, screw it. We'll go out anyway and see what we can do. We're way back in this channel, probably 250 yards. And we're just sitting there BSing, man. We didn't see anything. Dead still, no wind, no water movement. Decoys looked like they were asleep. I mean, it was not an ideal situation whatsoever. Still, it was a great time. Look up this gadwall. I mean, it was a Drake gadwall, dude, and like picture perfect. We looked over to the left, and I mean, she is just cupped and like cruising down the water. Gets right over the decoys and just drops in. I look over and my buddy's just staring at it, and I'm like, dude, you gonna shoot it? He's like, right now, dude, shoot it. He's like, what about the decoys? I was like, screw the decoys, shoot the damn duck. Pulls up, shoots it, and that was my dog's very first retrieve. I mean, all the way to the water, no hesitation, and all the way back. And it's like shooting your first duck all over again. Yeah. I would say, you know, we've talked a lot about putting in the time, money, and effort to get ducks for ourselves and to get ducks for other people that are up and coming and things like that. A dog is no different. I mean, I spend more time with my dogs than I do any other person on this planet, and I would say now I hunt more. I put more into hunting now so that my dog can do what he was bred to do, more so than me trying to kill birds. Both of these guys will attest too. I mean, we went on last year alone 2 or 3 hunts, and like it was like, hey, look, I'm not even gonna really shoot. You know, whatever birds come in, like y'all kill them, and I'm just gonna work with my dog.
That was really how it was. It was what, Christmas?
Yeah.
Well, we packed up super early, you know, expecting that it was just gonna be loaded with people. Mm-hmm. This was, I think you were out of town for this one. It was Chase, myself, one of my good buddies, and my cousin, and that's a funny one, honestly.
We'll do that in another one.
That'll be another one. But like Chase, I mean, he shot a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, he was working with his dog.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're ripping through ice, trying to get him out there to get a few retrieves. And I have some videos of him out swimming, bringing the birds back.
Man, we had I mean, I know we said Texas does not get very cold. It was colder than snot that day. These mallards were landing on ice, standing there looking at us like we were stupid. I mean, it was crazy.
I will never forget that when I'm like, Chase, hand me your gun. And as soon as he hands it to me, that freaking Drake took off. Yep. And it took the last day of the season for me to shoot a mallard this year.
Damn.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, that's just kind of what I would say on it is, man, if you have even the slightest thought of getting a dog, do it. 110%. Robert, he'll touch on it. His dog was here by accident. He wasn't looking for a dog. It was not something he was pursuing, but this came to that, and all of a sudden he had a yellow lab. And it's been super cool getting to see them work. I bust his balls all the time. I do it every single day. He's laughing because he knows it's true. Always talking crap about his dog, man, but she came from such a different family that was not anything like what we are now. And it's crazy to see how different dogs work and different dogs learn. Devin, I'll let you hop on it next and just kind of talk about it. I know your dog you have now, but you've hunted with a bunch in the past.
Yeah, so I really like my grandpa. You know, his place up in Oklahoma. He had he had a German wire hair. That is a different breed of dog.
Cool
let
dogs.
me tell you.
Cool dogs.
Those things are bred to hunt. Like from their coats to their snout, their feet. I mean, everything about that dog, they are bred. Like, you look up the history on it, it's insane. Watching that dog trot through 18 inches of water and just sniffing these ducks that are just kind of like diving a little bit here and there and just ripping through, man, it's eye-opening, honestly.
The intensity a dog has
to get that freaking bird.
Like man, if you haven't hunted with a dog and you don't want a dog, you have to just find someone you can go with. The intensity, the laser focus that those dogs put on is unmatched. Sitting there shaking, whining. I mean, it could be freezing cold and they don't care. I mean, it's crazy.
They love what they do. That's for sure. But now, you know, I've got a year-old black lab. He's a little derpy, you know, but love him to death. He shows interest, you know. It's kind of, I don't get to work with him like I want to, but Chase was like, yeah, you know, I want to take on the challenge, so I'm definitely gonna bring Bo to you, kind of let you work with him. Like I was telling you and Hunter on that Instagram live the other day, he has it in him. I can see it.
Gotta tap into it.
But I just gotta work him a little bit. The biggest thing that he struggles with is just to go get it.
Yep.
I can put a duck literally right here in front of him. He'll pick it up and hold it, and he will protect that duck until I tell him to release it. But other than that, if I throw it, he's gonna look at me and be like, "Dad, what do you expect me to do? Go get it? Like, you threw it, you should go get it."
Yeah. What do you think I am?
That's I don't know. It's something about him. Just I wanna have that experience with him, because after kind of hunting my grandpa's dog for 2 years, you know, it really kind of inspired me to have my own hunting dog and kind of get to share that.
Yeah.
And
it's cool to see the switch flip. You know, like when you work with them from a young age. I got my dog when he was 8 or 10 weeks old, somewhere in there. So it's cool seeing you kind of foster the right things and you push them in the direction of where they want to go. But at some point in that dog's mind, like, you get advanced enough to where you are throwing retrieves, you're throwing dummies and all these different things, and like it clicks. Like they know, they start to understand. Like, even after you hunt them a couple of times, like it's crazy. You know, the first couple of hunts, Goose is just looking around, freaking smelling the wildflowers. But by the end of the season, I mean, he's sitting there. We start ripping on those duck calls, man, and I mean, his eyes hit the sky, and he's just like, he knows, and it's the coolest thing. It's insane, Robert. I'm super excited for you to. I know you're ecstatic with how far you've come so far, but I'm telling you, man, wait till you actually get her out there and you start seeing it all come together, man. It's amazing. Nothing better.
I mean, I'm gonna touch on Chase's dog Goose. Like when I first saw Goose,
It was love at first sight.
Yeah. When I first saw Goose, like in his little blind that he has, it's so crazy how he's just laying down, just chilling, and then all of a sudden we start ripping on the duck calls, and he just like comes out a little bit, looks up, he's looking up like we're looking up, and then all of a sudden like guns come out, we're shooting, birds fall, and he's already there, laser focused on the bird. And Chase sends him. He runs out there, and his drive just to go out there and grab those birds and come back to us, like, and he brought back my first ducks, and just seeing him run back, dude, that was just insane. And when I saw that, I was like, man, I want a dog. Like, I never wanted a dog. I mean, my parents always had dogs, but I never wanted my own like personal dog. And then like I got into this, and I was like, man, I really want a dog. I don't know how it's gonna be possible, but then I got a phone call. Well, me and Chase got a phone call, and they were like, "You want a free yellow lab?" I was like, "Well, hell yeah, I'll take a yellow lab. Why not?"
Yeah.
And so she was trained for a house.
Trained for a house.
Yes. So she was definitely not an outdoors dog. Like, she was mostly kept indoors. Very pampered, I would say. And
damn, I hope her old owners don't watch this YouTube video.
Well, it's just, I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. She was very pampered. She was very like babied, and I mean that's okay.
Nothing wrong with
but like for what we do, I feel like these dogs have to be treated a lot differently to be able to get them to do what you want them to do. And so she's never had like authority of like, hey, when I say this, you do that. And she's very playful. She has so much energy. In the morning, she comes to me and she like puts her paw on my face, telling me to wake up. I'm like, come on, dude, I just want to sleep. Like, don't do that. But no, I'm super excited to work with her. She's like from the day I got her till now, she's totally made like a 180, and she's a total different dog now. Yeah. Like, I've been working with her on place at first, and she was getting that right away, and I was okay, maybe this is going to be a little bit easier. And then like a couple weeks ago, I was like, you know what, I'm going to work on retrieves because I got place right. And so she got on place, and I threw the bumper out, and she stayed there till I called her name. She ran out there, and I was like, oh shit, this is actually happening. It's working. I took a video, sent it to Chase. I was like, dude, it's working, bro. It's working. All this like patience is working. But now I'm working with force fetch.
Force fetch.
That's
something.
It's fun. It's real fun. She got the glove down, but now she's on the pipe. The little I don't know how to say it. I don't know what it is. What is it? A PVC pipe with tape on it? We gotta cut this. No, we're not cutting that.
Honey picked up on
drugs.
On a bad substance.
Yeah. No, she's on a PVC pipe and it's wrapped with duct tape on it. I don't know. I was watching some force fetch video and the guy said to do that, so I'm doing it, and she's working with it, but she doesn't like it. But you know, it has to happen.
I will say, like, my biggest regret so far with Bo is just not starting him at a young age. Like, that I feel like was the biggest downfall with him.
Right.
I never really like tried. That's the thing. You know, I always had it in the back of my mind, like, oh, I'll just do it later. You know, it's no big deal. And it actually kind of it started clicking with me. I'm like, man, Chase's dog's like freaking good at what he does. Granted, you know, the little shake off thing kind of is different.
And he likes to prove me a liar every day.
And dropping the birds about 15 yards away from us.
But you know, he's getting better at it. He really is. But like with Bo, you know, I never tried to leash train him. I never had to.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd take him out on the boat with me and my buddy. You know, we're out there fishing, and I'll park the truck, and Bo's right next to me the entire time, walking from the truck to the boat. Yeah. And there's a bunch of people, there's birds. Now, granted, I did have to grab him because he didn't latch onto a mallard. I mean, I cannot make this up.
Ain't no season for dogs hunting birds, I'll say that.
This man,
fetch him up, dog.
This dog snatched this mallard like 2 flaps out of the water.
Damn it.
And I'm like, nah, dude.
That's all she wrote.
We can't do this right now.
He says that. I know damn well he picked that leg up, saw no jewelry, and he said, never mind, I don't want it.
Yeah, he got me. But anyways, Like, I regret not working with him.
He did what he did at that time in your life with him. He did exactly what you wanted him to do
without really just having to tell him.
Yeah,
and keeping him out of the water is freaking hard.
Yeah.
I've had labs in the past growing up, and they're always house dogs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I had this one lab that was like driven for cattle, and I'm like, this is weird. Because you're a duck dog, but you're working cows like a healer, like a Texas healer at that. And that's why I'm ready to kind of see what you can do with him. I'm gonna come up as much as I can around my work schedule, just to kind of witness and kind of figure out what I need to do as well. Once you kind of turn him back over to me,
we're planning on doing. I thought it would be kind of cool, to do. We've talked about this, of course, but we're talking about doing kind of like a mini series, I guess you could call it, or even a series kind of on Bo.
I didn't tell you about this.
On Bo, I don't know if
I think we
kind of talked about it a little bit, but I think it'd be kind of cool to show the process. Kind of as a keepsake for Devin, but also to kind of like help y'all walk through things. Don't take any advice or anything we do. Don't do it without talking to someone or watching a video from someone who knows what they're doing. Like, it's
if you think it'll work, try it.
Try it. Yeah.
If it works for you, let us know.
Take what we do with a grain of salt. It's like I said, we are not professional trainers at all. But we know a little bit. We know enough, I guess, to get a dog to retrieve every once in a while.
Yeah.
But man, I think that's it. I think we've kept everyone on here long enough for now. It's been a lot of fun, I think. I mean, I think we all kind of agreed. We had a little intermission there to get some water and things like that. And really, really, really fun time for us. We hope you all enjoyed it as well. Check out our Instagram, our TikTok. We do have some shirts. Robert, if you want to pop up and kind of do a little 360 for them.
For free?
Yeah, for free. Look at that. Look at that. Nothing too crazy. We'll post a picture of them too. I know it's hard to see, but we're just trying a little bit here and there. Of course, like if y'all want a shirt, hit us up on Instagram and we'll get one shipped out to you. Or if you're local, we can come drop one off. Besides that, I mean, stay tuned for the next videos. Keep in touch. Any likes and comments, subscriptions, things like that. We really do appreciate it. But I think that's it. That's all the time we got. In the meantime, let them work.
I think this is going a little bit different than we thought.
Superb. I think this is going a lot better than I thought it would go.